Get in the car, loser. That was a really fun, silly little video. So this is a little bit too heavy. Go check that one out. But if you're all still with me, let's explore. I don't know if there's gonna be any audio. Act 1. Ooh, there is audio. Okay. Oh, I had to click on Act 1. Interesting. Okay. 2 years, 4 months, maybe a few days, over 100 miles. Why is she here? Why is she at this party? I didn't move here just to avoid her, but, well, it was a contributing factor. I didn't expect to see her here tonight. I'm not prepared. Run away. Run away sounds good. That's probably what I would do right now. I'm morbidly curious. I can't bring myself to run away. A moth drawn to a miserable flame. Cry. I don't think I can summon tears. That's not the feeling inside me right now. I just feel guilty. I mean, okay. Oh, interesting. Oh, I can kind of like move around the little... Interesting. Oh, that is fascinating. I'm easily entertained. I really like the fact that I can move around the viewpoint of this image. Say hi. There are enough people between me and her that I can get a bit close without feeling obvious. She's standing by the window, dancing in a low-energy way. I have no idea what I can say to her. Hey, sorry about before. I guess? Hey, sorry about before. I didn't mean to scare you. I miss you. Perhaps I'd be better just throwing myself to the floor. God, she's smiling. Maybe she doesn't even remember me. Just chalks me up as another weirdo who wants to fuck her. Oh, God. Oh, God, she looks happy. He's touching her waist and saying something, and I'm just standing here thinking about whether I'm a creep. Maybe if I was still a guy, then it would have been fine. You kind of expect that kind of shit from a guy, right? She's touching him back. Yeah, I can't watch this. Let's leave. Ooh, fuck. I feel sick. I can't watch this. I'm out of here. Hey. Someone is talking to me. I turn and look at her. I think her is right anyway. There's no face for me to tell. Not that it's necessarily reliable. I sense an energy. An energy despite the matte off-white bone that stares back at me, deep dark sockets and a pallid skull. Maybe my drugs have started fucking up again. I shouldn't have drunk. Wanna get out of here? Do I know you? Not yet, but I know you. I can see the shadow that follows you. And you can see me too, can't you? Girls like us should stick together, you know? I don't want to stick together. I don't want to talk. I want to get home and feel sorry for myself. Like us. It takes one to know one. You pass very well for someone functional and right. If you hadn't nearly started crying when looking at that girl, I wouldn't have even known. I love your boots, by the way. Say nothing. Say nothing feels like the best option, honestly. After a moment, she clears her throat. Never mind, I have wine. A whole bottle, see? She holds it up conspiratorially. Somehow I get the impression of her winking. Why should I go anywhere with you? She sighs and looks over her shoulder. This party sucks, and you look like you want to cry. Let's get pissed and vent together. Actually, that sounds kind of nice. Fine, let's just fuck off already. I don't want to cry where everyone can see me. Her jaw opens slightly in a horrible impression of a grin without skin. I know just the place. Then we're on a bench in a quiet section of the park I didn't even know existed. She opens a bottle of wine with practice, chucking the cork over her shoulder and takes a swig. When she hands it to me, there's somehow lipstick on the rim. I drink. Yeah. Alcohol is self-sanitizing. I drink. It's not very good wine. I take another swig. So, what's your name, girl with two shadows? I hand the bottle back to her. Meredith. I brace for a laugh, but it doesn't come. She cocks her head to the side and makes a noise. Nice name. Cute. Old-fashioned. Bit of a mouthful to say every time, though. Mary, maybe. She takes a swig of wine and pulls a face. No, Mary doesn't suit you. I'm gonna call you Red. You're not. She looks at me, some sparkle visible in her eye sockets. I think I'm getting used to her lack of a face. Almost. Whatever you say, Red. Why were you about to cry back there? I think I haven't hit her just because of the sheer affront of her questions. Why should I spill my guts to some random faceless girl in the park? I don't even know your name. She waggles the bottle of wine at me teasingly. Give me that. She lets it go without protest, and I raise it to my lips. You think I don't know you, Red, and maybe you're right. But I can guess. There's something about yourself that you can't live with, some part of you think aberrant, to be hidden away from sight. Only hiding it wasn't enough. You could still feel it there, burning away like a hot coal. Some hot little black lump inside you, like a smoldering heart. You hated it so much that one day you wrenched that fucker free from yourself. And ever since then, you've told yourself you feel better. But you don't really believe that, do you? It's not an absence. It's not like excising a tumor. It's something more vital. You cut out your heart, and now it beats at the door of your soul. She stops talking as I stare, dumbfounded, bottle of wine still raised halfway to my lips. Rummaging in her coat pocket, she pulls out a pack of cigarettes and lights one casually, clamping it somehow between her teeth. That's how I feel, anyway. And my name's Winter, so now we're even. You gotta tell me about yourself. Fag? Oh, fuck. Yes, I am a fag, in fact. Yes, indeed I am. Something like that. She laughs and drops the cigarette, managing to catch it just before it hits the ground. See, you do have a sense of humor. So go on, then. Drink and talk. I take another swig of the bad wine whilst I try to process what she said to me. I feel like she's told me some secret, sticky part of herself. But she told me like it was nothing at all. The girl in the party was not really an ex. I black out as the shadows talks through me, giving its own monologue. And I snap back. When I snap back, Red is finishing her cigarette, and I mumble the last few words. And, we haven't talked since. And now she's happily dancing with some guy, and I'm gonna drink more wine. I take another swig of wine. It's still awful. I hand her back the bottle and bring my knees up to my chest, heels resting on the edge of the bench. So where does the shadow come in? I fully expected to cry, but Winter's constant pushiness isn't leaving time. I'm angry that she keeps asking and spiteful enough to tell her. I wonder if she'd call me a 2. Oh, I want to know what that is. Oh, I'm so torn, because I call myself multiple things. What is it that you're afraid of, Red? Attraction, lust, myself. Fucking hell. Myself. I'm scared of what I wanted to do to her, still want to do. And not just her, but others. Girls I knew before, who I see maybe once and just think about idly. Girls aren't meant to have these thoughts, are we? Especially when we're trans. We're meant to leave that behind, just be nice and, receptive, inoffensive, and unproblematic. But I think about how I want to touch or hurt or fuck her, and I can't do it. I can't do it, but I want to. I feel like I'm trespassing unwanted and imposing, but I can't stop wanting to. And what used to be some awful black part of my heart has just grown and grown and grown until it's always there, looking over my shoulder. I'm scared. I'm scared of the part of me that follows. I rest my head on my knees and try to keep myself very, very still. I've been too much. Fuck, do I feel that one. The urge inside is to either stop moving forever or to flail and throw myself into the duck pond. Before I can commit to running away, Winter takes a deep breath and nods. That's wild. I look over my knees at Winter's expression. She looks pleased? That's wild. I mean, we're almost exact opposites, you and I. You're scared of being attracted to someone and everything that entails. And it's being attractive to people I can't stand. I don't know how to make myself feel vulnerable or to tolerate someone's eyes on me. What's the phrase? Mortifying ordeal of being known? I want to, but there's armor I can't take off. Baggage I can't put down. I look at her as she talks, her body language shrinking and the casual arrogance from earlier falling off like melting snow. She cradles the wine in her hands, bottle nearly empty, and laughs. You know what we have to do, Red? I have no idea. We should help each other. We're complementary. You have a hang-up about attraction to people, and I don't. I can show you, teach you. And you can show me what it looks like to be comfortable in your own skin, comfortable being looked at. I uncurl my legs and look at her, processing what she says. You're not suggesting we date after talking for 15 minutes. Not dating, just helping each other. I have someone I like already, and I want to be attractive for him. And you have someone you like, right? The girl from earlier? As if that was a relationship that could ever happen again. Could or should happen again. I've burned that bridge, and I've known that for a long time, but I want to reconcile this part of myself. Something about Winter's intensity makes me want to trust her. Makes me want to trust her. So I say it. How do we do it? Winter leans down to put the bottle of wine on the ground out of the way. Then she reaches out to me. No, she reaches out to my shadow. I can almost feel when her fingers touch my other self's cheek. Like a memory of being touched or a whisper of a breeze. Interesting. Can I kiss you? Kiss her first! Proactive! Be the gay you want to see in the world. The thought flashes through my mind of climbing on top of her and pinning her to the bench, but I could never, would never. I know I'm not meant to be feeling these things, and then the shadow takes over and I black out. Oh no! What does that mean? Act 2. What do you mean you don't cook? Winter shrugs and pours herself another glass of wine, cigarette between her teeth. I just don't. If I eat proper food, I buy it. I like restaurant food. I look at her dumbfounded. She must be spending as much on takeout as I do on rent. How the hell do you afford it? Yeah, that's my question. We aren't all broke PhD students, Red. I'm not that much of a stereotype. I only spend a day a week on studies. The rest is programming. You should take it up, honestly. Pays great. Really? Sure. Flexible hours, work from home. It's a good gig. I can teach you the basics sometimes if you want. Oh, maybe that's too personal. She slowly waves a finger at me to tell me off. Besides, you didn't come here to criticize my cooking, did you? No. Tell me what we're doing this time. She takes a seat on the depths of her sofa and sips her wine watching me. So... I tell her about Lily. I tell her about the girl in my lecture who sat next to me twice now and asked me out for coffee once. We haven't gone yet. It's tomorrow. And what do you want to do with her? As I talk, we start a little dance again. I can't remember how many times it's been now. 6, 7 maybe? The memories of each visit are so hard to pin down, just wisps of half-remembered touch. Winter lets me talk. As I do, she performs whatever I say on my shadow, the fuzzy half-feeling of it rippling through me as if muffled through cloth. She never seems self-conscious as I tell her things to do, never questions them, but I never let myself look at her for too long. Gradually, my shadow seems to change. It still looks like me in silhouette, but it's like there's another person layered over. I have the horrible feeling it's Lily. This is now deeply entertaining to me. Part of me feels guilt for this play act we perform, all mixed up with the guilt I feel for having any feelings in the first place. I thought maybe it would start to go away after we did this a few times, but it's barely made a dent. Instead, it just feels like it made Winter culpable for my desires too. Which feels... How does it feel? Winter senses something is wrong and turns her attention from my shadow to me. Do you want to stop? For a moment, it's difficult to talk with her fingers in my mouth, but then the fog clears and I remember she's only touching my shadow. No. I don't know. That feels like the mood. I don't know. Winter draws back, kneeling in front of me on the bed. I don't know what that word is, or how to pronounce it. Kayfabe? Kayfabe has been broken now, and I see the three of us as if from above. My shadow and Winter backing away from each other like guilty teens caught in a cupboard. Myself watching the two of them from barely a foot away. And the clothes Winter picked out for me barely register until I realize I'm cold. I've been cold for some time and I never noticed. You don't seem as into it today. I don't know. I don't know about all this. She looks at me for a moment, then starts hunting around for her hoodie. You don't think it's working? I honestly can't answer. It's difficult to even know what I think. Everything feels like muddy water. I curl my knees up to my chest and sit for what feels like a minute on the bed. The underwear Winter gave me to wear digs into the sides, making it harder to breathe. Do you really feel like it's helping you at all? She turns to look back at me, unsure for a moment. Am I getting anything out of this? Does wanting you to be comfortable with feeling attractive help me? I don't feel comfortable. I don't feel anything about it either way, but I don't say it. Winter's eyes are hollow as she looks at me. They don't burn. It's difficult to tell. Knowing someone else can do what I can't isn't having the revelatory effect I thought it might. I laugh into my knees and let myself unfurl again, lying down looking at the ceiling. Winter sits on the bed again. When I watch you fuck my shadow, it feels like there's some quality that you have and I don't. Like someone gave you permission to feel these things, and that makes it all right. I hear her take a sip of water and sigh. I suppose you gave me permission. Maybe that's all it is. I'm glad you can feel that. You think so? I'm glad you can feel that. I mean, it's not... It's more like one partner gives permission to the other so they can feel vulnerable. She looks away. Is there a difference? What if they don't do the same? Then you have something deeply unbalanced. One person bearing their soft little heart and the other stepping on it like a snail on wet pavement. I pull a face and she grins back. She can't help it. Aren't you scared of that? She doesn't reply straight away. I can hear the clock ticking as we sit on her bed in silence. I mean, you have to face your fears, don't you? So I hear. Isn't that what we're doing? Well, yeah, but... She trails off for a moment, lost in what to say. She stands up and turns to face me. I've got a date. I raise my eyebrows in surprise. A date? She shrugs. It doesn't come across as nonchalant so much as evasive. That's what all this has been for, right? Guess it must be working. You let me see what it feels to be comfortable in your own skin, and I put it into practice. Is it the guy you mentioned before? She nods and holds my gaze defiantly, as if she's waiting for some criticism. I don't have anything to say. But for a moment, I can feel it sharp as ice. I feel angry and broken that Winter has found more in our hookups than I have. That she's going to outpace me and leave me on my own. That this isn't a respite for me, it's not healing me, it's not helping, I feel something cold wrap around my hands as my shadow comes in closer to hug me, embrace me. Winter's eyes widen very slightly. In a moment, a sentence or two, I could crush whatever tiny ember of confidence she's trying to keep alive. Tell her that everything she's begged me for will never work, as if she could really learn to be comfortable for me. Learn to love herself for me, when I can't even keep all of myself together. But I know the urge is terrible, some monstrous thought that's gone as quickly as it came. I'm not angry at her, really, just me. So I find the words. Good for you. Act 3. My phone drags me out of the stupor as it rings. It's nearly midnight, my tea has gone cold, forgotten as I drift off. God, I don't want to talk to her. Not tonight, but it's nearly midnight, and Winter's calling me. Answer. I always answer my phone if it's a late night call, 'cause if... Calls in the dead of night rarely mean good things. I answer the phone. Hello? The sound on the other end of the line is crying. Winter, are you okay? There's a pause. She lets out a shaky breath. No. Can I come over? Winter huddles at the end of my bed, legs drawn up to her chest. Oh, no, she was asking. Can I come over? Winter huddles at the end of my bed, her legs drawn up to her chest. I place the glass next to her and join her on the bed. Near, but not close. Sorry, it's this. All I've got is cheap vodka. Winter necks it in one and her shoulders hunch up as she makes a face. Then she stares down at the empty glass in her hands and talks. So I listen. I went to see the boy finally, like I said. We ate food and some drinks and he seemed nice. Interested, you know? He listened to me. It felt really good to get that attention. And I like him. Liked him. I don't know. What happened? Winter swallows. Oh no. We went back to my flat and we started to make out. I felt so good at first to be desired. I felt confident. And he was so complimentary. I thought it meant I was attractive. I thought I could live with that if that's how it felt. Say nothing. I keep letting her talk. But it felt wrong, gradually. Like he was no longer seeing the person I'd been earlier, talking and flirting and being human, you know? I felt like he was just looking at me and seeing a trans girl, an archetype. No, it's too kind a word. A cut of meat that he liked. And I wondered if he'd ever seen me as anything different. Did he hurt you? Like, do we need to... Okay. Did he hurt you? No. Nothing like that, but... I thought that maybe I just had to endure it, that this is just how it feels, right? I hated it more and more as it went on, but I couldn't tear myself away in case I stopped just before it suddenly started to feel right. But it never felt right, it never did, and when he finally finished, he couldn't even look at me. He didn't look at me the same even when he left. Like there was a distance, or like it was an act. Oh, I don't have any other option, so touch her shoulder. I reach out and touch her shoulder. Winter flinches a little but doesn't push my hand away. You deserve better, Winter. She sniffs and looks at my hand for a moment. Ooh, let's see. Oh no, this isn't an option. This is not an option. I can still feel his hands on me. Like a drop of dye in water. She grabs my hand suddenly. Can you drown him out for me, Meredith? Aww. What do you mean? She pulls me towards her by the arm. Her grip is soft and bitterly cold, but it's comforting too. And when my hand reaches her skin, have I ever actually touched her like this? I can feel my shadow stir next to me, remembering. If I had to keep feeling someone else's hands on me, I won't mind if it's you, Red. I don't want to believe you see me the same way he did. I couldn't. Help me forget then, please. I'll tell you what to do, what he did. Just like the other times, like I did for you. My shadow guides my hand to her neck, and I don't fight it. Winter twitches my fingertips, brush her skin, willing herself to stay still. He started with my blouse. Ooh. Gentle. Winter's hands join my own, working with mine to shrug off her blouse. Her skin is so smooth. Out of the corner of my eye, I see her looking in my face, watching me, waiting. You're pretty. You never shown me before. Red. Wait for instructions. Aww. I look up at her, waiting for some kind of sign it's okay. Please. Touch her tummy. I let my fingers drop to her stomach, tracing them along her side. When I touch her, Winter instinctively moves away as if I've pushed. She makes a squash little noise and closes her eyes. It feels strange to leave this dance. My shadow wraps itself around me, its hands on the back of my own. I can feel its heart beating through me. I think about how Winter did this before, to my shadow. I wonder if that's how she wants me to act, or tell me what to do. She takes a deep breath, recounting. He had rough hands. They never stayed in one place long enough to get used to. Nothing like Winter's. Did you like that? No. When I asked him to touch somewhere, he'd get bored after a minute and move. So I stopped asking. Is there somewhere you want me to touch you? Winter hesitates. Without saying anything, she takes my hand between both of hers and guides it to her neck. I run my thumb along the line where skin turns to bone. Her breath catches my as my fingers trace up her jaw and come to rest on her cheekbone. You're warm. You know how your shadow felt? Like a real person, soft to the touch. She raises her own hand to touch my face in return, her thin fingers mirroring mine on her cheek. Then she shifts her hand to my shadow instead of watching over my shoulder and touches its cheek. I feel the fuzzy impression of it again, like static. It feels nice, it feels strange, it feels familiar. It feels nice. Do you think it's really part of us? Or is your shadow in my face just some kind of delusion? Winter tugs the shadow by the collar, and I fall forward with it, pinning her to the bed. She takes my hand and hesitantly guides it back to her neck. I oblige. As she covers her eyes with the back of her hand. I never know if people can see my skull or if they just don't care. Would it be so bad if they couldn't? She peeks through her fingers at me. I've never seen her so fragile. I'm scared of someone being attracted to just part of me. To that part of me. Like I might ruin myself by revealing that I'm human, too. And that it's too much for both of us to bear. You're not ruining yourself. I wish it was so easy as believing you. Show me then. Prove it. She moves her hand away and I meet her gaze. It feels like I'm falling. A bird losing its feathers as it tumbles through the sky. Winter wants the dark part of me and I want hers. If it's delusion, my shadow and your skull, then it's one that's real to both of us. She grasps my hand gently and guides it to her eye socket. If it's a delusion... What did you say just now? Would that be so bad? Act 4. This always keeps skirting the line of where I'm not sure where it's going to go. I can hear Winter's breathing next to me and I realize I'm awake. I open my eyes and see the two of us are in my bed still. She's asleep, facing away from me, slightly curled up. And as I start to rise, I realize I can see her face. Everything feels at peace. I sit there quietly for a few minutes watching her sleep. It's just the two of us. For the first time, I can't feel my shadow behind me, watching. As if I've carried a backpack for so long I forgot and then finally took it off. It feels light. When I eventually get up, Winter doesn't stir. But as the kettle boils, I hear her. Red? Also, I do like how, like, red and blue is kind of like the trope, and Winter's text is blue. I see you. I see that. I call back and return with 2 mugs of coffee. Winter is sitting, rubbing her eye sockets, her skull once again staring back at me. She's smiling. I don't say anything. Where her blouse has fallen open, I can see the bruises on her neck and my stomach twists a little. Satisfaction against guilt. When I pass her the mug of coffee, my shadow is right back again, cradling my arm like a splint. But it doesn't feel as heavy anymore. Aww. Winter, a game by Freya Campbell and Elliot Harriman. Writing, art, and music by Freya Campbell. Additional writing code and design by Elliot Harriman. Be kind to yourselves. Back to menu. Aww. That's really cute. That was really cute. That was really cute. I enjoyed that immensely. I thought that was very cute and very well done. Oh, that was so... I like that a lot. You know, sometimes trans femmes just need to help, like, sometimes trans femmes just need another trans femme to help them feel better. Sometimes that's just a thing. Oh, that was very... that was very cute and very wholesome. I like that a lot, actually. But... Huh? Okay. Sorry, for a moment I thought something was wrong. This was really good. This was very, 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 very good. Thank you all so much for watching. Please, as you know, as the game said, please be kind to one. Please, as the game said, be kind to yourselves. And as I always like to say, don't forget to be kind to yourselves and one another. And for now, it's time for some very important things. Oh, game link in the description below if you want to play it for yourself. I don't know if there's different endings or not, so like there could still be like, there could be different endings. So check out for yourself if you'd like. It's on itch.io. I'm eternally grateful for all my supporters over on Ko-fi, Darius, Bunnybot, Suffolk Serif, Kylie Coven, and Space. If you'd like to help support the channel, join the ranks by following the Ko-fi link in the description below. Once there, you can choose from a variety of either one-time or subscription options, which will get you the following benefits. Adding a game to the list of things I'm going to play. Get your very own custom-made Discord emoji made by me. Access to the subscriber-only Discord server, or get added to the end card by subscribing at the common tier or higher. And as always, don't forget to hydrate, masticate, and medicate.